Mounawiroul Soudour, the illumination of the hearts, its states and all of its stations. It is a treatise on spiritual improvement. In the name of Allah, the Compassionate, the Merciful. Allah has purchased of the believers their persons and their goods. Theirs, in return, is the garden of paradise. They fight in his cause and slay and are slain, a promise binding on him in truth through the law, the gospel, and the Quran, and who is more faithful to his covenant than Allah. Then rejoice in the bargain which you have concluded. That is the achievement supreme. Surah 9, 111. See you not that Allah sends down rain from the sky and leads it through springs in the earth? Then he causes to grow therewith produce of various colors. Then it withers, thou wilt see it grow yellow. Then he makes it dry and crumble away. Truly in this is a message of remembrance to man of understanding. He is one whose heart to Islam, so that he has received enlightenment from Allah, no better than one hard-hearted. Woe to those whose hearts are hardened against celebrating the praises of Allah. They are manifestly wandering. Allah has revealed from time to time the most beautiful message in the form of a book, consistent with itself, yet repeating its teaching in various aspects. The skins of those who fear their Lord trembles thereat. Then their skins and a heart celebration of Allah's praises. Such is the guidance of Allah. He guides therewith whom He pleases. But such as Allah leaves to stray can have none to guide. Surah 39, verses 21-23. And yet, we have set none but angels as guardians of the fire, and we have fixed their number only as a trial for unbelievers, in order that the people of the book may arrive at certainty, and the believers may increase in faith, and that no doubts may be left for the people of the book and the believers, and that those in whose hearts is a disease, and that unbelievers may say, what symbol does Allah intend by this? Thus does Allah leave to stray whom He pleases, and guide whom He pleases, and none can the forces of thy Lord except He, and this is no other than a warning to mankind. Surah 74, verses 31. That the prayers and the salutations of Allah the Most High are on our Lord and Master Muhammad, his family and his companions, and that He blesses them with prayers, safety, and blessings, by the grace of which this present versification will be a priority among the premises of the people promised to enter paradise. O you Master of the worlds, it is you that I ask, so that it be so. The slave of Allah may be the privileged servant of the one that has allowed him to reach the proximity of Allah said, for the simple face of God, by the actions of Ahmad, which have entirely mollified his hope toward Allah, while opening the sealed doors of divine favors. I return thanks to Allah, who made the slaves and the members of their body, so that they follow the hearts of the slaves of Allah. And with that being said, I exalt His sanctity. He is the Lord that makes the call with the religion of the one who glory to Him. He is the owner of the most glorious throne, the one that brings things into existence, the one that creates without a model. He is certainly the most generous. He is the one that created the whole of the man and the jinns, so that they adore Him by reverence and major aspiration. So that as long as my wishes attract me towards that which has a valuable return, praise and safety be upon the one that carried me to that which is most profitable. To be with the messenger, the ascetic, the intercessor, who directs us in the way of the benefits of. especially so that prayers and safety be towards him that taught us that the physical world is for the perfection of all Muslims, and this is without the exclusion of our Lord Muhammad. On him the prayers of the one that destroyed my prison, of the one that destroyed my prison, my adoration, purity, and with safety. O you that are gifted, know now that the best science is the science which brings you closer to the original, that means intentional meaning of the text. For example, the original inner meaning and the canon law, obtaining the intended inner meaning, is the usefulness of Sufism and all of the other sciences. Preamble. O you that began early in the search and research of knowledge, receive this requirement from my share and observe my words. Proceed with the search for knowledge, but do it simply for the face of your Lord, so that you will be the joy of the man of God and be among the scientists. That means the scholars. Naturally, don't worry yourself exclusively with the traditional transmission of knowledge verbally, but on the contrary, you must reconcile applicable comprehension. Naturally, in the search of knowledge, do not seek to have others turn to you in the beginnings and regard you as an example to be followed. Ouch! Beware of the painful repercussions, but rather have the ambition to leave the darkness of ignorance, so that you are explained, and so that you never seek knowledge or the acquisition of goods to satisfy the whims of your passions for something. If so, know that you would have exchanged your life in this physical world for your life in the next world. Each time you find yourself in this situation, run away and seek protection. So if the hearts of your generation lean towards you among your contemporaries without you requesting it, this is an exemption for those that reach you with a knowledge that moves them away from presumption. So stick to the reverence of Allah, modesty. Thus all people of courtesy will visit you. Realize that science and good deeds, just as good character and noble conduct, are beneficial to everyone. Your spiritual perfection is not for you to enjoy and any of these provisions, and does not lean towards any of them, because that would be self-destructive. O you who challenged me on the elected religion, adhere to closely as the religious gen of purest elected official. Upon him be the prayers of Allah, accompanied by his salutations, on his family and his companions, in manner that he erased that which is unfavorable from me, being convinced that the only religion recognized for its proximity near Allah is our beloved Islam, and not the other religions from the people that are deceived by illusions. Because those that prophesies a religion other than this one will be cursed, and they will never be accommodated in the paradise. Apply this useful versification. It is a versification that by priority has the elected official in the forefront of the religion for the erasing of sins by the permission. The title of this treatise is The Illumination of the Hearts, its dates, and all of its stations. O you that are clear-sighted, give up the perishable things and establish your support with the things that do not become exhausted by time, meaning through eternity. Attack this envoy, the messenger. On him be the purest prayers of the constituent, meaning Allah. Because it is the strict application of attaching yourself to the tradition of the Prophet that you will be saved, and by giving up all that you will be found guilty of, that would terminate spiritual growth. The sagacious one is the one that scrupulously observes the regulations and prohibitions, because they are the best of professions. The one which is interested in this low physical world without meditating upon it to the point that they may become a victim of it. At last, the low physical world is in the image disguised in invaluable clothing. The stupid ones only foresees the clothing which dazzles them, as in the case with a gracious woman whose love gradually evolves within a catastrophic marriage with her lover. When she removed the clothing that she had on, he will find what was conferred on. he will find what was camouflaged from him as dreadful. She is one-eyed, hoary, with a stench, and with saliva running out like something repugnant to foam. She is also lacking eyelashes and equipped with a shabby physique, but her appearance would allure any transgressor. At a time, their lover would bite all over their fingers, full of regret because of all that was familiar to them before. Regarding the clear-sighted one, how he meets her, now he carefully scans her, and if he discovers danger there, know that he will simply reject her with total resolution. And by allegory, the low physical world is like the dream of someone sleeping. Whoever comprehends it will obtain the spoils. In time past, the low physical world turned to me. I rejected it, and the yoke was separated from me. The world turned back to me, and I did not make recourse to it, knowing that there remains the obscure residence of darkness. Then the low physical world returned to me as an offering. But as for me, I turned to Allah, the one that made my favors everlasting. Everything that is in this world is the subject of my pleasure within the framework of my use. Being a provision of the paradise, after the transaction and spiritual combat, I myself am now the one being obliged. I return thanks to my Lord through the saintly verses that He has granted me by, testifying my gratitude for the completion of having reaching Him towards Him, in the company of the eraser of sins, and because Allah made my provisions non-returnable. I have warned all of you about the manifest sacrifices that I endured before I gained an imperishable approval that is indeed truly eternal. So, combat your and do not follow its profane passions. Rather, follow the way that grants the approval of Allah. So, you that are worried about this law, physical world, take heed of my counsel, because this is sincere